So here's where we've camped the last couple of days. Seaside town called Torre Del Mar. So not far from Malaga, a little bit further east, maybe about 40 miles east of Malaga. Built up seaside town with loads of parking here. You can see there's quite a few motorhomes, campervans in here. Italians, Spanish, Germans. Quite a few British as well actually. Quite a few British plates I see. Glorious sunny day today, look. Produce some lovely sunshine today hopefully. Top up the old solar panels. We did have a bit of rain yesterday, only for about 20 minutes, half hour. Fortunately just about lunchtime, so we was able to dive into the local town, grab a bite to eat. The beach is really well provided for here, nice and clean. Beaches are raked regularly. Guy just cleaning the bins out there. Lots of little cafes and bars along the beachfront. There's also public toilets, showers and water facilities. Plenty of amenities here. Look, John's going to have to clean the fan now, because he's making it dirty with his awning out.
If you want, you can get wet, Greg.
Right, it's really nice staying at these beach park-ups and that. It's been really hot and sunny, so the ground's quite dry. And obviously it kicks up all the dust, and look how dirty the van is. It's absolutely minging. I don't think I've ever seen it this dirty. So the local Repsol station's got like a huge truck wash, jet wash thing, so we're going to pop down there this morning and give it a good clean off. You missed a bit. I got a good shot of your arse anyway for YouTube. So guys, we're on the last southern stretch of Spain, well, to the most southern point if you like, back into the UK in Gibraltar. We are going to pop in there just out of curiosity, see what it's all about. But this little stretch of Spain is the last little bit where we're going to be on the Mediterranean Sea, because on this little bit that goes down to Gibraltar, there's a little pinch point where Gibraltar's very close to North Africa. There's a very small channel of water there, but that's the end of the Mediterranean Sea. And then when we get on the other side of Gibraltar, we're sort of on the Atlantic Ocean side of Spain and then heading towards Portugal. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, what the climate change is like and whether the temperature drops a little bit because we're on the Atlantic, because we're quite sheltered on the Mediterranean, which is why you've got all these Spanish...
with the red speedos at the back then.
Which is why you've got all these Spanish holiday resorts all the way down this side of the coast, because probably it's the most sunniest and warmest part of Spain. Morning guys, up bright and early this morning. The sun's just creeping over the water. You can't see, it's so bright over there. It does look lovely though. We're heading into Gibraltar today. I'll just give you a view of the rock. There's a little lighthouse there, There we can see the rock in the distance. We're probably only about 9 or 10 kilometres away. This is kind of like one of the last little free beach park ups just before you get to Gibraltar, and we're going to go over and see if we can get up to the top of the rock. Now, I've seen online that the cable car has got maintenance work on it, so unfortunately we won't be able to go up there on the cable car, which is a shame, but I believe they are running minibus services, or alternatively obviously you can walk to the top. Altitude's about 400 metres, so you need to be fairly fit. It is a bit of a climb, so we'll get over there and then we'll see what the options are, whether we walk or whether we take the minibus. Maybe minibus up and maybe walk back down. That would be the way to do it. We're not going to take the van over there though. We did look at that. There are a couple of car parks in Gibraltar. There's a big car park by the Morrisons there. There's another big car park by the cable car station. But the trouble is, they're very, very small car parks, very tight. I had a look on Google Maps. They're like a herringbone pattern. There's nothing bigger than a normal car parking space, what I can see anyway. So once you get into Gibraltar, it's going to be really difficult to manoeuvre the van, and it's almost going to be impossible to park it, I think. And I don't want to go through the hassle of queuing up at the border crossing, waiting a couple of hours, get in there, and then finding I can't park and I've just got to come straight back out. So there's a Motorhome Aire that's literally just on the outside of the airport there. It's had some really good reviews. Lots of people have parked there, said it's really safe and secure. Gated entrance, guy gives you a ticket. It's €12.50 for 24 hours. And it's only 10 minutes to walk from there to the border crossing. So we're going to leave our van there. I think it'll be a lot safer there. I'll be happy with it parked in the air. It's only €12, and then we can walk onto Gibraltar with our passports, go through the border crossing and do everything we need to do without having to worry about driving around or parking up. I think if I had a smaller van, I wouldn't be so worried about it. I think John may try and take his van over though, because he can park his in a normal car parking space, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on with that. Also, they've got Cooper to take into consideration as well, so they have got the dog passport and all the paperwork and so forth, so that'll be interesting from his point of view to see how they get on with their pets. Anyway, for now, let's just enjoy this sunrise. Look at that. Right, so we've just pulled into the car park near the Marina just before we cross the border to get into Gibraltar. This is so much easier, I think. Like, the car park there's just got a barrier, press the button, get a ticket, and then obviously pay at the machine on the way out. And it's $12.50 for the day. As you can see, there's quite a few motorhomes already parked here, so we'll find a little spot and then we can walk into Gibraltar. Don't forget to take your passports, of course. So this is where we're parked up, just outside Gibraltar, right by the Marina. You can see there's a little row of motorhomes already here. There's the Sprinter, and you might not be able to see because of the sun, but obviously there's the rock. We've just got to walk across the border control with our passports, which is about 10 minutes away, and then we can walk on to Gibraltar and go and have an explore. As we always do when we park up remotely, all the curtains are drawn in the van, both sides all round, so nobody can see in. You know, you're just taking that opportunity away. You know, if somebody walking past sees something inside the van and think they want to help themselves. There's nothing in the van anyway, because we always take all the valuables with us whenever we leave it parked up like this. There's a pay ticket machine on the way out before the barrier, and it does say there, motor caravans $12.50 for 24 hours. So we're at the border crossing. We're just going to obviously go through as foot passengers. Normally we pull up there and go through the passport control. We no doubt will do the same, but on foot through this little building here. So hopefully you can hear me over the nearby building works and buses and mopeds. Here we are in Gibraltar. That was so easy. Literally just walk through the passport control, flash the passport, no questions asked, straight in. Yeah, very simple. And what separates Gibraltar from the mainland is the airport and the runway. So obviously we have to now walk across the main runway. And here we are in the shadow of the rock. Huge, great big limestone cliff face, rising to an altitude of 400 metres. The cable car's out today, but we're hoping to make it to the top to get some epic views. So this part of Gibraltar is what's known as Main Street. A lot of shops and restaurants here. Big square. Plenty of places to eat. And then we're going to be walking along that road there up to where the cable car park is. And then hopefully we can catch a minibus up to the top. So that tall mountain that you see in the distance there, that is North Africa, that's Morocco. We're only 24 kilometres from here to North Africa, or 15 miles across the Strait of Gibraltar. And this is probably one of the busiest shipping channels in the world. Obviously out there is the Atlantic Ocean and off towards America. And then this is where all the trade comes into the Mediterranean Sea through this narrow channel.
The oval shelter down there, that's the frontier, that's the border, yeah? As you can see, it's a short runway, but at the end of the runway here is where they're making this tunnel I mentioned. They're going to divert the traffic go that way, go underneath the runway, out the other side, and like that they don't have to interrupt you more in the middle, yeah? But believe me guys, this is nice to see as a tourist, but when you live in here, this can be a pain because they can't take advantage of one plane coming in, another one coming out, and the barriers can be down sometimes up to 40 minutes. Imagine the traffic congested everywhere for 40 minutes, yeah? Sometimes you get private jets, military planes coming in and out, yeah?
This is all reclaimed.
can see the van from up here. It's parked right there.
Yeah, really good.
What are you having for lunch?
Tuna melt wrap with chips, of course.
So I'm trying some of the local Gibraltar beer. Contains Gibraltar grown hops apparently. Very tasty. And as we're kind of back in the UK, I've ordered the fish and chips with mushy peas. Ooh, lovely. Well, slightly let down by the fact that there's no mushy peas, which I was looking forward to. Fish does look a bit pre-manufactured, but still looks tasty though. We really enjoyed our visit to Gibraltar and we're so glad that we made the effort to go over there. It was really easy on the border crossing both ways. The guide that we had on the minibus tour was really knowledgeable, told us lots about the local history. The views from the top were absolutely stunning, so it was really worth the trip up to the top of the rock. And then on the way back down we made sure we topped up with all those things you can't buy anywhere else with a trip to Morrison's. All in all, a really enjoyable day out. That's the very southernmost point, and we're heading down there. That's near Tarifa. Pan round a little bit more round to the right. That is Tarifa Beach, that long stretch of golden sand there. That's Tarifa Beach. And everything that you can see in the distance here, all those hills and mountains, that is the north coast of Africa and Tangiers. And that is the Strait of Gibraltar, and all of those tankers you see coming in and out of there. Across there it's something between about 15 miles, and I think somebody said at the closest point it's about 8 miles. But you wouldn't believe you could stand in Spain and see Africa that close. I can actually see buildings across there, but you probably can't in this light. The light's pretty poor today, but there's a bit of cloud, but I can see buildings across there. So we're going to head down there, down to that little island, see if we can find a little park up to have a little stopover, and then we'll venture a bit further up the coast to a beach park up near Tarifa. So there we are, southernmost point. In the distance there, Africa, Mediterranean Sea, mainland Spain, and then on this side of the little bridge, Atlantic Ocean, Spain, and continuing round to Portugal, and somewhere in the distance there, America. In next week's video we're staying at a really cool beach park up in Tarifa. We meet loads of new friends and a lot of YouTubers and get to help out Eamon and Beck with their electrical and solar installation. So make sure you're tuned in and don't miss that video. Subscribe and hit the bell so you get the notification. Thanks for watching guys. Cheers!